Hey guys, thanks for joining. So today I'm going to be taking you along with me while I plan out 7 days of posts for LinkedIn, and I'm going to be using a tool called Postiv AI. So Postiv AI is an amazing tool that I've been using for quite some time, and I'm actually a brand ambassador for them, but I don't join up with brands very easily, and the only reason why I have signed up to be a brand ambassador with Postiv AI is because it is an extremely incredible tool, and if you are looking to grow on LinkedIn, it is going to save you tons of money because the possibilities that are able within this tool are really everything that you need to be covering off when it comes to growing on LinkedIn. You are able to create your posts in here, as in writing the copy. You are able to schedule your posts and automatically post them onto LinkedIn. You are able to track your inspiration and look at different creators that are on the platform, being able to filter for virality and get ideas that way. You are able to also analyze your analytics, and you are able to create your visuals and your carousels all within this one platform. So it really is an absolute hub for everything growing on LinkedIn. And if you were to use my code Caitlin, you will be able to get 50% off your first month using Postiv. And you'll also see now that there is a 7-day free trial. So you can go on, you can utilize Postiv, you can see what it's all about. And hopefully by watching this video, you'll see the quality of the content that you can produce with this tool is extremely impressive and definitely worth the monthly subscription. So watch along. I'm not going to be, showing you through the whole tool today. However, I am going to be showing you through planning 7 days of content, warts and all. It won't be perfect, but you will see what this tool can do and how impressive it truly is. Okay, so we are going to get started with a post that requires a 1-page visual. So as you know, growing on LinkedIn these days, you cannot just be posting text posts, just text. It's going to go nowhere unless you have a huge audience, and probably none of us do that are looking to grow on LinkedIn. So you have to be posting visuals, and visuals take time to produce, but that's very different when you're using this tool Postiv. I actually write my posts outside of Postiv in Claude, but that is no markdown on Postiv. You can write all of your copy within Postiv. It has the ability to build in all of your knowledge and ensure that it's going to write to an extremely high standard. It is an amazing tool for writing your copy. However, I have still got my workflows and my processes where I run through Claude Code. I do a lot of recording, which then turn them into transcripts. And then from those transcripts, I turn them into lots of pieces of content. And this is something that I guess is a little bit more outside of the realm of Postiv, but if you are a daily creator, you can definitely use Postiv AI without the need to be subscribed to an LLM and be producing all of your content here within the platform. So as you'll see here, we are in the Postiv AI studio right now, and this is where you can begin writing your posts from, or your carousels from. As you'll see, they give you some conversation starters here to get you going. However, we are not going to be doing it that way today. We're going to be using a caption that I have already written myself, and I'm just going to copy that and paste it in here now. And then above that, we are just going to give the AI agent some instructions. So below, you will see I have written a post that I would like for you to help me create a visual around. I would also like you to refer to your knowledge bank and your 1-page framework, whereby I have referenced different frameworks I would like you to follow when creating your visuals. And we're going to hit go. And it's going to go off, and it's going to do exactly as I said. So as you'll see, it's looking at the brand visual identity guide. It's looking at the knowledge bank. So it's referenced all my documentation, and it's noticed that I have a couple of frameworks in there, and it's asking me would I like it to be a single post image or a carousel. So I'm going to go with a single post image, and we are going to go with so I've got I think we're going to go with the bold claim. I'm going to confirm that. So as you see, it guides you through the process. And just like any AI tool, obviously, the more context and understanding that you can provide the AI knowledge base or its brain around your brand, what it is that you do, your brand identity, the different frameworks that you use, all these sorts of things, the better the output is going to be. But one thing I will say is that I use Claude Code and I am able to do amazing things within Claude Code. However, producing visuals like Postiv AI does for me, I cannot do in Claude Code. So this is the reason why this tool is extremely special. And I'm so happy to be using it on a daily basis. Your brief is the difference. That just looks awesome. I think that looks really, really cool. And it's all in my coloring. I just love that. A lot of the time, I don't even have to change things in Postiv. I'm just happy with it straight away. So obviously, this post is about AI agents aren't interns anymore. At least they shouldn't be. And the point that I'm trying to make in this post is that the context is everything, just as I was explaining to you right before it actually output this piece. So your brief is the difference. And so I am absolutely happy with that. You can have a look. How does it look on mobile? Very good. Perfect. And so as I'm happy with that, I can go about scheduling this and I can set it in to post on the date that I want it to go. So let's set it for tomorrow and we're going to post it at 9:30 a.m. And that is that. So brilliant. We're going to schedule the post. So that tomorrow morning is going to post and I'm not going to have to do anything, which is absolutely beautiful. That is more of what we want within our AI tools, that's for sure. So we are going to move on. We are going to go to a new chat. We're going to start fresh. So as you can see, same again, I've got all the different scripts and points slides. So this is a 9-slide carousel that I've written and I'm going to hit send. Okay, so it has produced the carousel, as you can see. Also looks really nice. I like this. All on brand. A couple of changes that I will make. I'll probably remove the Caitlin O'Shea. I'm not too sure. No, it still looks good. Okay. Page 2. It's not the model, it's what you put in. Here are the 5 mistakes I see in almost every underperforming AI agent or skill build. Okay. Prompt is too vague. Okay, I hope that this is going to carry through into the 5 points. It probably will. So the reason. Prompt is too vague. Nice. Lovely. Wow. To be honest, I don't think I'm going to have to change anything. That is so impressive. I'm just shocked. Like this would really take me. Sometimes it would take me an hour. Sometimes it would take me 2 hours to do this myself in Canva. And that was the reason why I ended up paying for an editor as well, because this was a constant bottleneck in my business. I knew I had to make content, but making the content took me so much time that then I was ended up having to pay an editor to actually make the content for me, which, to be honest, wasn't that straightforward either. So using a tool like this where you can produce this level of content, it's a no-brainer. Well, at least to me it is. So I hope you see that too. Now, I've just noticed here there is a little bit of changes that I'm going to have to make there. So see how does that carry through. So it looks okay on page 1. Page 2. Yeah. Okay, so on page 3, that's where it kind of looks a little bit strange. This is what we're going to do. So we're going to say the profile image with my name looks perfect on page 1 and page 8 of the carousel. However, I would like you to remove it for all other pages within the carousel document. And we're going to hit go on that and it should perform those changes to the carousel. One thing that Postiv is really good at as well is if you were to say page whatever it is and you want something to change on that particular page, it will only make that change on that page. I making slide decks and so on Gemini and different models, you tend to end up having issues with like kind of like a butterfly effect across the rest of your document, and you can end up being in circles or chasing your tail when you're making edits, but Postiv really handles that quite well. So it says that it's making the changes. Okay, so it's checked. Okay, yeah. Let's have a look. So has it done what I've asked? It's left it on page 1. If we go to page 2, it is still there, but it looks fine on page 2. So no, so it hasn't made the changes, unfortunately. So I actually think this is, so it needs me to confirm, is the element you're seeing a circular profile photo? Yes. Yes, the image that I'm referring to is this circular profile photo with my name. So I think that is because it is a feature that is built into the HTML code within Postiv. So yeah, so this is a Postiv platform feature. It overlays your LinkedIn profile photo and name automatically on slides and is not part of the HTML I can edit. You need to toggle it off per slide directly in the carousel editor. So do you know what? Like, that was extremely helpful. It's told me what I need to do, and now I can go about and make those changes myself. So we're going to go into the page editor. So I actually don't need to change it on 1 or 2, but I want to remove it from page 3. So we're going to, oh, look at that. Lovely. So it looks like it's turned it off for the whole document. Now, to be honest, that's fine. I've got Caitlin O'Shea AI that works. So it doesn't look like you can actually apply it to just each page. You can either have it on or off. But, you know, I have my name and I have the company name within the top left anyway. And I also have it on the end pages. So that's really nice. So this is another output of a carousel that would have taken me an hour or 2 to create that has now taken me about 15 minutes to create within Postiv, saving me all that time and hassle. So not to bore you, but we are going to produce another amazing carousel using Postiv, and it's pretty crazy how quickly we're producing these. I think they're taking around for 5 to 7 minutes each. And to the quality that they are, I'm really, really impressed. We are going to do the same as we did in the last. We're going to give it an instruction, then we're going to give it the script of the carousel, and we're going to let it work away. So I would like for you to refer to your carousel framework within your knowledge base and follow the script below to produce the carousel that I require. As you'll hear there, it's not like I have to give a particular prompt in order to get it to do what it needs to do. But I do emphasize the fact that without knowledge, the AI is not going to know exactly what you want. So giving it references to what you and your brand is, like a brand visual identity guide, or your color palette, or the tone and a voice of your brand, these are all going to ensure that you get a output that is more in line with what you're looking to actually receive. Otherwise, it can be a bit of a guessing match, even though I will say that Postiv is brilliant at producing AI content even without that context. However, when you give it that context, it turns into a whole different level of a tool. And for me, I really think that having a strong brand identity is really important to being noticed online. So having a tool that can actually utilize that knowledge and then produce this level of content with such ease really just like blows my mind. So I noticed that it had been thinking for quite some time. So I actually just typed in "you okay?" just to check in on it. And I find sometimes with AI agents, this can be the case that they can get kind of stuck for whatever reason, I don't know. And just prompting, just checking in with you you're okay, it sometimes gets it going again. So as you see, it responded, yes, all good. I reviewed the carousel design framework and I'm ready to build. So it was actually stuck, and now it's going to go about producing the carousel. So I'm just making that point that sometimes if you feel like a agent has been kind of thinking or spelunking or all these different words that it uses when it's processing a request, just check in with it. And sometimes that can get it going. It's really helpful. Nice. So it has produced another output for us. And this is about how skills, custom GPTs, and Claude projects are not the same thing. So let's go through and have a look at the output. First page looks good. Second page, okay. Yeah, I think we could make some changes here, and we'll have a look at the whole document first before we get going though. Okay. I think we could definitely work with it, but we are going to have to make some changes. Okay. Yeah, so what we're going to do first of all is we're going to turn off the branding because that clashes with the design. I'm going to go back to, I think I'm happy with page 1. Page 2 now, and it's the same across the board. So it's actually pages 2, 3, and 5, or 2, 3, and 4. We want to bring the text and the image together more into the middle. So that's what I'm going to instruct it to do. On pages 2, 3, and 4, the headline and then the subtext and then the image that you have also inserted into the carousel. Could you bring the text from the top of the page and the image from the bottom of the page more to the middle across all 3 of those pages? Let's see how it goes with that request. While it's doing that, I'm just going to have a look at the rest. So cross-project by design, build a skill once and it works across all your projects, Claude or ChatGPT Business and Enterprise. The knowledge travels with you. So a skill can go to all those. Exactly, yes, and that is correct. I just want to make that image bigger, I think. Okay, let's go back. So it is performing the task. We're going to have to do the same here again too. Look at that, very nice. Much happier with that. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna, maybe we make this, I think it would look better on the left. And that as well should be bigger and to the left. Okay, so let's start with page 3. So page 3, the locked in image that you've created, I think this would look better if it was slightly bigger and to the left of the page. And this is what I mean, that it's so much easier to give instructions like that and the agent apply the changes, rather than in Canva you'd be like, oh, that's not aligned, or this looks too big, or when you flick between they don't line up. And that's what you get to avoid by using an AI agent for creating these visuals like this. Okay, so that looks good. Then for page 4, I would like you to also enlarge the image and move it to the left, just like you did for page 3. So as you can see, I'm just explaining what I wanted to do and describing it as best as possible, you know, giving the page number, expressing what I wanted to do, and then hopefully it actually performs it to the request that you have made. Yeah, that looks fine. One thing I will say is I think the image could be just slightly bigger. For page 4, enlarge the image even more and also enlarge the text within the middle of the 2, project A and project B, that says no bridge. It's kind of hard to see that, and I think the arrows could also be a little bit larger too to express that a bit more. That's much better. Yeah, very happy with that. Also, one thing I'm going to change as well is the little labels that sit at the top of the titles on pages 2 through to 7. The text is quite small. I think these could be enlarged by around 25%. So it's always good as well to give a percentage if you're looking to enlarge something, or say for instance it gave you an output of a bunch of text and it was too long. I always say, could you distill this down by 25%, or could you distill this down by 50%? Same goes for sizing. If you want it to get bigger, it's always good to give it an idea of percentage. Any way that we can better describe things is going to ensure that we get a better output. Okay, so it's enlarged it there. Yeah, so they're a little bit more readable. I still think they could be slightly bigger again. The labels at the top of each page from 2 through 7 that you just edited, if you could make them another 15% larger. Now you can actually individually edit things as well. If you want to. I just find it's easier to engage with the agent, because it's able to make all those changes across the whole document without me having to touch anything. So that's going to save me time. Okay. For page 5, I would like you to also enlarge the image where it says skills in the middle and the different projects off that. Enlarge that by 100%. So that's done exactly as I would have liked. Brilliant. Pages 6, if you could align these the same as you did for pages 2, 3, and 4. So bringing the text at the top into the middle with the image enlarged by around, I'd say 100%, and keep that in the center on page 6 as well. So this image is a little bit larger than I would like it to be. If you could shrink it by 25% and maybe move the lightning bolt and the LLM automation line over to the left. Page 7, if you could move everything on this page to the center of the page as your final change. So we created 3 carousels and one-page visual post utilizing Postiv AI today. I'm going to show you the outputs in all. So here we go. We've got our build an expert skill in 10 minutes. As you can see, all lovely, all on brand, all clean and gorgeous, and way better than I could have created myself in that amount of time. I think today took me probably about, I'd say 40 minutes for me to create these resources. Now, I know that the Postiv team are constantly working on the tool and improving the agent and trying to get it to work as fast as possible. Although creating visuals, especially carousels, you've got to consider that, you've got 10-page documents and they're all visuals and they're all very high res and everything. So there's quite a lot going on. So it can take a little bit longer, but it's definitely far faster than I could have created myself. And I didn't have to pay any extra money. It is all within the subscription, and I've got some lovely content here that I think is going to do extremely well on my channels. And then we've got our last one here. Like, it's just gorgeous. Like, I'm just so happy with the results. And as I say, like, I only chose to start working with Postiv AI as a brand ambassador because I think the tool is already so value driving. It could already be so impactful in your business, even though this tool has only been around for such a short period of time. And then we had the last piece, which we actually scheduled in the scheduler. It's going to go out tomorrow. And that was Your Brief is the Difference, Caitlin O'Shea. Like, so cool. Such a fantastic tool. As I said, if you want to try Postiv, you can do so via their 7-day free trial now. And if you want to sign up, you use my code Caitlin, you will get 50% off your first month, which is huge. And yeah, I just want to thank you for sticking around. If you watch the video all the way through, I hope you find this really valuable. And I'll be doing more videos in the future on how we can create infographics and other visuals, as marketing and sales is really my thing. So obviously branding and visuals and writing copy is all the things that AI That Works loves to talk about. So please do subscribe or follow along or like and comment on this post. Every little piece of engagement really helps my channel, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much.